So with the recent financial success of both Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocketman, it's only natural that Hollywood and other studio heads are greenlighting other musical biopics in bunches. And that's what this video is all about. I'm going to give you some insight on every single upcoming musical biopic for the next couple of years. So let's go ahead and get started with number 1. Stardust is a smaller, independent film detailing a young David Bowie's life during his first tour of America back in 1971. Now this was a transformational period for Bowie as he was contemplating the persona of Ziggy Stardust that basically strapped a rocket on his back, leading him to the ultimate stardom that he would later go on to achieve. He will be played by Johnny Flynn, who you can watch in Netflix's Lovesick. Bowie is one of the legends of folk and rock, so here's to hoping Johnny can pull it off. He's going to have to because Duncan Jones, Bowie's son, has made it very clear that he's not behind this movie and they don't have the rights to his music, so any Bowie music we hear will be performed either by Johnny or someone else, and then they'll have him lip sync to it. This film is expected to drop in May of 2020. It's just waiting to be purchased by a larger studio at the moment. Next up in 2020 is Respect, which is the biopic that will be covering the life of Aretha Franklin, and she'll be played by Jennifer Hudson. There's actually already a teaser trailer that's out, and I suggest you go watch it because I think Jennifer is going to absolutely crush this role. It's perfect for her. She's got an amazing voice. I don't know how this film will do. It could not be the greatest like a Bohemian Rhapsody, but much like that film, I think there will be no denying the performance of the leading actor, in this case with Jennifer Hudson playing such an iconic vocalist in the R&B genre, and iconic is a word that you're going to have to get used to in this video because that's basically the caliber of talent that we're going to be discussing for these musical biopics. But this film in particular is releasing on August 14th of 2020 and will be directed by Liesl Tommy, who has previously directed some episodes of Netflix's Jessica Jones. Now we start getting into the films that don't have set-in-stone release dates, but based off of production updates and studio announcements, we can more or less guess the ballpark of the release windows. Elvis Presley. So this is an interesting one as it's set to cover the life of the king with Baz Luhrmann directing. He, of course, is a very unique director. His approach to bringing these stories to life, well, let's just say you never know what you're going to get. Austin Butler is set to play the king, beating out massive competition like Miles Teller, Ansel Elgort, and Harry Styles, which means this guy better freaking deliver an A+++ performance because those other guys are absolute stars in the business. And I think this will be an absolutely fascinating telling of Elvis's story. And the biggest news is apparently Tom Hanks is being coaxed to play the manager of Presley, which would be just great if we're being honest with each other. Shooting is expected to begin soon in Australia, which leads me to believe a spring 2021 release date is most likely. Number 4, Bob Dylan. So this biopic is going under the working title Going Electric, which probably relates to the premise of this film, which is going to be focusing on the period where Dylan decided to leave folk behind and embrace rock and roll. Now, Bob Dylan is a great artist, but that's not the reason I'm super hyped for this film. The biggest reasons are the on-screen and off-screen talent attached to this, with Timothée Chalamet set to play Dylan and James Mangold set to direct the entire thing. To me, Mangold is King Midas. Everything he touches turns to gold, from Walk the Line to Logan to Ford versus Ferrari. And Chalamet has been such a force for young actors in the business, and he's certainly someone who by the time he finishes his career, he'll be looked at as one of the best of his generation. With the announcement coming just this past December, though, I think that this film is most likely due for a spring or summer 2021 release date. Number 5, Michael Jackson. Now this one is being produced by Graham King, the same producer behind Bohemian Rhapsody and Jersey Boys. There isn't an actor attached to it yet, which is why I don't expect this movie until late 2021 or mid-2022 at the earliest. But the reason, of course, to be excited about this is, well, it's the king of pop, and they have the rights to all his music and his life, so you can expect to hear all the greatest hits from Michael Jackson. It will span his entire lifetime, which does include the trial for sexual allegations that were made against him. Number 6, and the final film on this list, is The Bee Gees, the second biopic that's coming from Graham King. Again, the producer of Bohemian Rhapsody, Jersey Boys, and now Michael Jackson is producing 2 movies, and this is the second one. This is the second on the priority list. And there haven't been castings yet for the legendary brothers, but Paramount has acquired the rights to their groovy music, so you can expect some old school jams in the theater, I'd guess sometime in 2022 or 2023. Of course, the Bee Gees found their success after creating the soundtrack for Saturday Night Fever, and the rest is history. Though this is probably the furthest away, it's the one I'm actually most looking forward to, because I know I'm going to tear up like 20 times. Of course, if you know the sad passing of Andy Gibb, who was never an official member of the group, but he was a singer who sadly never got to achieve much more success like his older brothers. And even then, the other members have since passed, and Barry Gibb is the last surviving member of the group and the family of brothers. But there you have it, every single upcoming musical biopic that we know of. Let me know which ones you are most looking forward to, and what's your favorite song from all of these artists. I gotta admit, for me, it's Elvis's Burning Love. It never fails to get my feet rocking. But yes, anyways, if you enjoyed this type of video, if you enjoy this type of content, well, consider subscribing to Millennium Movies. You're already in the right place for this type of video news and video information. But until next time, guys, this has been Millennium Movies, and I will see you all very soon.